These is the spookiest, scary stories you'll ever hear. They are all based off of true stories that my friends and I had told. They are all very spooky. Please enjoy them and don't get too scared. Yesterday, something strange had happened. Miguel's dad came to school instead of him, telling people he was Miguel and that he had just grown a goatee. This is a picture of Miguel's dad. Here's a picture of Miguel. You can see quite the resemblance, but this didn't seem right to us. Miguel was too much of a soy boy to actually be able to grow facial hair. We pressured him into telling us the truth. It turned out that he had sent Miguel to Africa for being gay, and was after Kyle for turning his son into a gay. Kyle then pulled up in his dusty 2008 Toyota Camry, wearing his stupid purple Vans, and then right when he was about to say something really dumb, Miguel's dad tried to punch Kyle. Seeing as how that Miguel's dad was 5'5" and Kyle was a monstrous 9 feet tall behemoth, he struck down Miguel's dad with a single kick. Miguel's dad never returned, and neither did Miguel, because no one cared about him too much, not even his GF. My gosh, was that scary. I almost shitted my pants. Anyway, the next one will be even scarier. One day in the fall of 1984, a young lad named Kanyist Weist walked along the streets of Chicago with a bag of deep-fried beans. Kanyist Weist had forgotten his glasses at home, so his vision was quite impaired. As he approached what he thought was the movie theater for Cars 2, he accidentally stumbled into an abandoned warehouse. Once inside, he was confused by the lack of black teenagers who were notorious for their love of Cars 2. As he walked deeper into the building, like quite a fool, but not willing to give up the chance to see such a good movie 30 years before its release. He hit his head and passed out. When he awoke, he was surrounded by many white males. However, it was not the KKK, but a satanic ritual. Before Kanyist Weist knew what was going on, he had been cursed. One of the white fellows said, "I have combined what you love most, large sweaters and beans. If you ever take off this 4XL sweatshirt, you'll be reduced to a pile of pinto beans, which no one wants. They aren't even that good." Kanyist Weist was forced to make a living of being ridiculed. Kanyist Weist was forced to make a living for being ridiculed. Why'd I say that? What should I say?
What?
At the end.
Kanye was forced to make a living for being ridiculed by his mom. He was forced to make a living while being ridiculed?
Yeah. Kanyist Weist was forced to live his life being ridiculed for his box-shaped stature, especially when the game Roblox came out. Okay, that's good. Boy, was that one scary. Especially the fourth wall break. That really had me surprised. How about you? Leave a comment if you were surprised. Anyway, here's another one. The next creepypasta is based off of a true story. When my mom was in the shower and she had left her credit card unguarded, I took it as my chance to buy a hacked Fortnite account off Craigslist. When I typed in the Epic Games password, the account took an oddly long time to load. When it did, I had every skin. I decided to put on the Skull Trooper and show off how cool it was. When the game loaded, all the other characters were very pixelated, and I assumed it was because of the hack, but the game was working as intended. After playing for some time, I was shot, and when I was shot, the Skull Trooper farted. That was odd, I said. It was almost as if the room smelled like a fart. I continued until I got sniped in the head while there was still 80 people remaining. As the skeleton trooper collapsed, he let out a massive fart, which filled my bedroom. I choked on the thick stench and lost consciousness. When I awoke in the hospital, there was a mark on my arm saying, "After this, There's no more entries on the Facebook timeline of this child. We can assume that he died. Ooh boy, was that one scary. I'm likely to wet my britches on the next one. Anyway, curl up with some popcorn and continue the spooky tales. When I was walking home across the street, there was a tall and skinny black figure, almost man-like. At night, my street was very popularized, so this was no odd occurrence. But as I approached the figure, I noticed an odd limb-like item coming out of his torso. I thought it was just a naked drunk, but the limb looked big, like really big. I turned around and started walking in the opposite direction, but as I turned, I heard a bird-like screech. And when I turned back, the man was gone. I was shaking in my big boots. Then, I turned back around. I will spare you the details of what happened next, but I will leave it up to you. At this point, I am so scared. I can only bring myself to do one more story, but I saved the spookeriest for last. One day while going to a garage sale, I saw a perfectly good 5-gallon bucket. I asked the man who was selling the 5-gallon bucket how much it would cost. The old man replied with, "That bucket's a curse. You can take it for free, youngster." I said, "Okay, boomer." I poured the water out of the 5-gallon bucket and took it back to my pickup truck. I then hopped in my truck, packed my lip full of dip, and got to scooting. When I arrived at my residence, I noticed the 5-gallon bucket had filled itself with water. I thought to myself, what an odd occurrence. This happens to be... oh fuck. What an odd occurrence this happens to be. I don't know where the fuck I am. Anyway, I brought the bucket inside after dumping the water out. I put it next to my bed, and being such a Chad had worn me out, so I went to sleep. When I awoke, I looked and the bucket was full again. This was quite spooky to me, so I kicked the bucket again and said, "You can't be full if you're on your side." I then heard a boomer tone say, "What kind of retard believes in magic buckets?" I was filling it up all along. Then I felt a knife go through my 12 hearts, and then I heard the distinct sound of a Monster energy drink, TM, can opening. With my last dying breath, I uttered, "Fucking boomers." Okay. Ooh, fuck, was that scary? See y'all in 3 months. Got anything to say, Giovanni?
Not really.
Okay, see you in 3 months.